All right, let's see if we can get this stuff working. Dudes, I know I literally just like blew you away, right? I mean, I hope you guys you weren't sitting in your chairs and then basically you fell out of your chair because you just got blown away by me, Rick. RIXX, not Rick, right? Just to be clear, guys, it's not Rick, it's RIXX. RIXX. Now, you know what, guys? I gotta say something. It's a little dark in here. I'm gonna have to go ahead and take off my sunglasses because I know you guys are over there writing like super awesome compliments and about like, oh, RIXX, you're so awesome and we love you, RIXX. And that was like the greatest guitar shred I've ever heard in my entire life. But I can't really read it because I got my sunglasses on. But if there's any ladies in the house, I want you to just I want to prepare you because the shades are coming off. And I know that's a big deal. Like when you see a hot dude and he takes off his sunglasses, it's like, oh! So just prepare yourself, right? Shades are coming off. Shades are coming off. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a little better. I can see a little better. Although the hair is a little bit, in the way. But, it's like you got two choices. You want to see things clearly or you want to look good? Well, of course you want to look good, right? I mean, obviously. Maybe I should try, what's his name's, the glasses here. Instead of wearing my aviator shades, I'll put on the dork nerd glasses. Let's see if that helps. Let's see. And again, my totally rad and awesome hair getting in the way. Oh, how's that look, guys? It's like combination hottest dude in the world with combining with the bald nerd, right? Oh, gotta check my hair and the old screen here. It's like, what am I doing? I don't know how I let myself get talked into this, but anyway, here I am, dudes. RIXX, it's like your dream come true, right? I mean, what's up, everybody? Hey, I see Jamie in the house. You guys know Jamie's been sending me love letters for the past couple of weeks? Yeah, she has. I mean, I would read some of them, but, they're a little what do you call it? Not safe for work, little over the top. You guys know that song, that one song? Jamie's Crying. Remember that one? Oh, Jamie's crying. Yeah, I think literally her letters had tears of joy stained in the paper. They're not sad tears. It's like when you go to a concert and you see your favorite guy and there's that dude, right? And you see him and you I'm sure you've seen videos of it, right? And you see the girl standing there and they're just like, oh, and the tears are flowing. Yeah, I think that's Jamie, So Jamie's crying, but they're tears of joy. I can only imagine what she's doing right now over the fact that I'm even acknowledging her, but whatever. So who else we got in the house here? We got Ubi. I wonder if Ubi is an Uber driver. Wouldn't that be cool? Hey, I'm Ubi. I'm your Uber driver. Ubi the Uber. That would be kind of cool, right? And if you're not an Uber driver, you probably missed your calling, dude. You might want to think about it. What else is going on? What's up, dudes? RIXX, right. And then Ubi says, I have the voice of an angel. Well, clearly, I mean, duh, obviously. When you look like this, what other kind of voice are you going to have, right? Yeah. Kat Nelson trying to control himself or herself. I don't know. It could be a him or a her. I really don't know. I seem to have that effect on both males and females. I mean, let's face it, dudes. When you're this good looking, it's just, I get a lot of attention. I'm used to it now because it's been going on pretty much my whole life. It's I can't really go anywhere. And people are like, who's that super good looking dude with the super rad hair and dressed really awesome? And I'm just like, it's me, RIXX Rocks. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah. And usually they ask for my number and stuff. And if the girl's really hot, I might consider giving them my number. And my number being like the number to the payphone, like down on the corner, because like I couldn't pay my cell phone bill, and then like it doesn't work anymore. So anyway, whatever. What else is up, dudes? Yeah, Buddy. Is that dog's name? Yeah, he's sitting back there. I don't know what he's doing. What else is up, dudes? Yeah. I'm here to entertain you, you know? It's like Bald Shredder was like, yeah, you know, I'm not really feeling it. I'm trying to do the Bald Shredder voice. Hey guys, like, it's me, Bald Shredder. Anyway, he's like, I'm not feeling it tonight. It's like, do you think you could cover the live? I guess he has a little more confidence in me than that metal guy, whatever. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't want that ding dong hosting the live. So, yeah, here I am. Anyway. Oh, look who it is. Searching for Tone. Yeah. Or as I like to refer to him, searching for talent. Just kidding, dude. But seriously, that's what everybody calls him behind his back. He just doesn't know. But, you know, to be fair, guys, like, when you're as good as me, nobody else, like, compares. So it's almost like unfair to the world that I was born with all the looks, all the talent, all the brains. I mean, pretty much everything. And, you know, I'm sorry for the rest of you guys, but hey, you know, that's just the way it is. And the sooner you accept it, the better your life will be. Yeah. Yep. Who else we got in there? We got Mitch. Is that Mitch from Baywatch? Mitch Baywatch? Yeah. Oh, hey, cool. We got shampoo and conditioner. Yeah, I mean, you can see I take pretty good care of my hair. Although I could use like a little trim in the front, maybe just a slight trim. But that $5 is gonna come in handy. Thanks, Mr. Uber. Who else we got in here? Oh, Shred and Shine Guitar Works. Shred and Shine. You know what that reminds me of? There's a kids' cartoon show. I don't know if it's on anymore, but it was called Shimmer and Shine. And I could still hear the theme song in my head. Shimmer and shine, oh. And I know that song because, like, there was this girl I used to date, and she was a single mom. And, like, I think she was a single mom. There was a kid there in the house. I don't know. And she was always watching that show. Yeah. And so it's like, I'll be like, what is that show? What is that song? With Shimmer and Shine? And she's like, shut up, weirdo. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, that relationship didn't last long, you know, probably like a couple of weeks, because like the lady, the single mom, she's like, dude, why don't you get a job or something? Why don't you earn some money? Why don't you contribute? And I'm like, hey, this is who I am. Accept me for who I am, you know, telling me to get a job. What's up with that? You know, I'm working on my demo tape. I'm going to be sending out my demo tape to all the record companies, and I'm going to get signed, and I'm going to get a deal. And then, you know, the money train's going to start coming. And it's like, okay, lady, if you don't want to be a part of that deal, that's fine. You know, you and your kid, and you're watching the cartoons, whatever. Hey, you know, cool. I'm out of here. So I went outside, I got on my 10-speed, and I went home. Yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, that's ridiculous, right? Anyway, yeah. So I've got quite the life, guys. Quite the life. It's What's up, Ryan? Ryan says, what's up, Rick? I'll tell you what's up. I'm up. I'm not sleeping. I'm up. I'm doing the old live stream here. Yeah, that's what's up. No, Joe. The money train has not derailed. Because the money train hasn't even come in yet. How can it derail when it's not even there yet? Right? I'm building up to that. Right? I'm working on my songs. I got the demo. I'm working on it. They're going to be hit songs for sure. For sure. So, you know, I'm sure like Capitol Records or Universal, when they hear it, you know, I don't know if I should drop off those cassettes in person or if I should just send them in the mail, you know, because probably they need to see me. And when they see me, they're going to be like, give this dude a multi-album contract right here, right now. We're talking the next Bon Jovi, right? Right? I mean, come on. This is like the whole package. Yeah. And I'm just, you know, the timing's got to be right. I've just been waiting all these years, you know, everything's got to be like lined up and the timing's got to be good. And we're just about there. We're just about there. So let's see here. Mitch is asking, well, it says the bald shredder, then it says RIXX. You know I'm not the bald shredder, Mitch Baywatch. Are you going to see the new Superman movie? You know, I don't know. I tried to audition for that. Like, I wanted to audition for the part of, like, Superman because the whole body and everything, you know, it's like, I don't even need to work out. It's like, just give me the suit and I'll just put it on. But then I thought, they're going to want me to, like, cut my hair or, like, put one of those bald caps on and then, like, put fake hair on me. But I'm like, haven't we seen enough Supermen already with, like, the short, dark hair? Aren't we ready for, like, the cool-looking Superman? Anyway, I sent him my headshot. I never heard from him because I figure it's like they were so jealous. They saw that and they're like, oh, no, we can't have a Superman that looks that good, that looks that rad, because it's going to, like, detract from everybody else in the movie. You know what I mean? It's like, I get that all the time. A lot of jealousy, you know? But hey, I've come to accept it. It's like, when you're the total package like me, you're this good looking, you play the guitar that well, you're basically like the smartest guy in the room all the time. It's like, you know, you're up at the top. You know, when you're that top guy, everybody else is always trying to, like, knock you off of, what do they call that? A pedestal or something? I don't even know what a pedestal is. I don't have one, I don't think. But anyway, I think that's what's going on. Yeah. Zim's Guitars says he got to play the Whiskey Go-Go. What's the Whiskey Go-Go? I've heard of the Whiskey A-Go-Go, but I've never heard of the Whiskey Go-Go. Anyway, that's cool. Yeah, dude, you should have told me because, you know, you could have, like, I could have been there and you could have invited me up on stage. But then, come to think of it, you probably wouldn't want to do that because, like, I would have stole the show. And then you guys all would have been pissed and be like, oh, he's getting all the girls. Everybody's like, oh, RIXX, you were so awesome. And then ignoring the rest of the band. So, yeah, it's probably a good idea that you didn't do that. But anyway. Can I sing? Handsome Ellie. Well, not as handsome as me, obviously. Sorry, dude. You might have to change your name. Like, not as handsome as RIXX, Ellie. Can I sing? Of course I can sing. Dude, what can't I do? Okay? Yeah. Starting my own guitar brand, RIXX Pro. Yeah, you know, that's always a possibility. You know, I got some meetings lined up, you know. Gonna be talking to some people. You know, like sending out emails and stuff. And I'm sure those guys will get back to me when they have time because they probably get a lot of emails. But anyway, yeah. So, let's see. Six Stinger. What kind of name is that? Anyway, he says, how does one get to your greatness, RIXX? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. Stinger, you're not. It ain't happening, bro. So, I mean, no sense in having, like, a goal and an expectation that is just, like, not reachable. So, I mean, I hate to say, like, give up before you even try. But in this case, yeah, it's just not possible. So you're just setting yourself up for, like, failure and disappointment. You know, I'm up here. So set a goal that's, like, down here somewhere because you can't do the unattainable. What else is up? A lot of talk about the Whiskey A Go Go. You know, I've played the Whiskey A Go Go before, guys. Yeah. Played it one time. Yeah, one time. And then, like, the owner was like, you're not allowed to ever come back here again because, like, there was only 3 people in the crowd. Now, what I'm going to say about that is I think that another band that was jealous of me, they found out I was going to be playing, and they went around and told everybody that, like, my show was canceled. You might even have paid people to, like, you know, go to the Troubadour or something like that. And that's probably, like, the true story. But it's like, whatever. You know, there are a lot of places I can play, you know, like the bowling alley. Although they usually tell me to stop. But anyway, yeah, like, whatever. What's up, dudes? Oh, Joe R. Cracking the jokes in here. Yeah, there you go, Joe. Help setting up your X84. I don't know what that is, man. Yeah, and like, if you don't know how to set it up, just give up. Don't even do it. Yep. I wouldn't advise doing like stand-up comedy. Yeah, unless you like getting hit by tomatoes and stuff like that, and people booing you, and then getting in fist fights, and then getting thrown out of the club, and then you're face down on the sidewalk with your hands behind your back, getting handcuffed. Not that that ever happened to me, but I'm just saying, you know, it could that could happen to somebody. I mean, I wouldn't know, but yeah. Captain Craig, there you go. You got to be realistic. He says he gives up. Well, of course you're going to give up. Why wouldn't you give up? Well, it depends on what your goal is. Like, hey, I want to be as good looking as RIXX. Nope, forget it. You can't. It's not possible. I want to play guitar as good as RIXX. Yeah, get in line, you and everybody else. Did you guys see that concert? Or maybe like you saw some clips and stuff. What was it called? It was from last weekend. That big concert. It was called, let's see, Back to the Beginning. Did you guys see that? Back to the Beginning, like Ozzy Osbourne, right? I was confused though. Like, why is it called Back to the Beginning? We're not at the beginning. We're at the end. Shouldn't have been called like, here we are at the end, or it's over, Johnny, or whatever, right? Back to the beginning. I mean, do they have a time machine? This is not Back to the Future. They had a time machine. Yeah, and then they went to the past, and then they came back. Actually, now that I think about that, that should have been called Back to the Present, because they didn't go back to the future. They went to the past, and then they came back to the present. I bet that was like a typo or something. I wonder if anybody got fired over that. It's like, dude, why'd you call this Back to the Future? Should have been Back to the Present. Whatever. Anyway, speaking of the Ozzy and the Black Sabbath thing, did you notice that, yeah, they had a lot of people there. Yeah, they had a lot of people. But did you notice, like, there was some noticeable absences? Did you see that? You know who wasn't there? How about that Gus G dude? He played guitar for Ozzy for a while. Yeah, he wasn't there. Or was he? I didn't see him. How about Joe Holmes? Holmes, Holmes. Anybody remember that dude? I don't think he played on any Ozzy albums, but he was in the band for a while. And since we're talking about people that like were very obviously absent, how about yours truly? Why didn't I get an invite? I came this close to being in Ozzy's band. Yeah, you guys didn't know that. I was almost the guitar player in Ozzy's band. Like, this close. Oh, see? Ellie fixed his name. There you go. Hey, it's good to live in reality. Not as handsome as RIXX Ellie. There you go. See, he took my advice. You know, if people would listen to me and take my advice, boy, the world would be a better place. Yeah, Brad Gillis wasn't there either. Anyway, here's the story, guys. Some of you guys might remember it was like 20-something years ago, and Ozzy put out like, I don't know, a message or whatever, you know, said, I need a new guitar player. And they gave an address and they told everybody to send in their demo tapes. You guys remember that? I bet some of you sent in your demos. Well, but what you guys didn't know at the time is you never had a chance because I also sent in my demo tape. Yeah. Now, technically, I like to think I was in the band. Yeah, very briefly, but I was part of the band because I know they listened to my demo. I know they looked at my headshot, right? Because I got the rejection letter in the mail thanking me for sending in my demo. And you know, there was just this sort of general stuff, but I was able to read between the lines. And what they were really trying to say in that rejection letter was like, dude, we were literally blown away by your demo. It's just like insane how talented and rad you are. And incredibly good looking. We saw your picture. But we can't let you join the band because like you'll get all the attention. And this is the Ozzy Osbourne band, not the RIXX Rocks band. Exactly. See? Not Handsome Ellie. He's got it. He knows it. No, they didn't know. Bernie Torme was not better than me. I was, you know, I'm pretty much like I would have been. I was, because I consider that I was in the band for like that brief second. They got my demo. They heard it. So I could have been in there, you know. I guess I should let this mutt out over here before he like takes a dump on the floor or something. Hey dog, you want out? Okay. Oh no, he doesn't want out. He just wants to sit there like a dummy. The door's open. Go. Here, go chase your toy. There you go. Man's best friend. Yeah, right. Anyway. Yeah. But still, it was a cool show. It was a cool show, you know. I didn't watch the whole thing because, like, I don't want to pay for that. And, like, I don't have any money. So I saw some clips, like, you know, on Facebook and on the internet and stuff. And what I really wanted to see was, like, Jakey Lee. I wanted to see those Jakey Lee clips. And that was cool because, like, he's one of the guys that I would have been replacing. You know, so it was like cool to see, like, can he still play? And I saw him playing like, what's it called? Shot in the Dark. Yeah, Shot in the Dark. And then Ultimate Sin. And he had like a purple Charvel that looked like the purple Charvel that he had way back in the day. So that was cool. And come to find out, that was not his old purple Charvel. That's actually a brand new purple Charvel that they built him just for the show. Yeah, it was like a custom, you know, Charvel custom shop, and they made it just for the show. And it's a super strat, you know, like Jakey Lee plays, the purple one. But he wanted the scale length to be 24.75. Normally, those kind of guitars would be 25.5 inches, but no. He wanted a short scale, like a Les Paul, 24.75, and it is, I guess. I mean, that's what they said. So, what's the Stinger man saying here? Try it out for Corey Feldman's band. They told me I would never bet that. I think he means be that good. Yeah, you know, Corey wanted to take some guitar lessons from me, at some point. I think. Yeah. I mean, at least I think he would have if he would have known that I was available. And I think I could have gotten him to that next level, right? But it's like, dude, I left you all those messages on your Instagram account. You never replied. You never got back to me. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped, you know? It's like, have you guys heard that saying? You can lead a horse to water and then you hope like that the horse doesn't buck you off and like throw you in the water. Anyway, you know, Corey, if you're watching, man, dude, call me. We'll set those lessons up. Yeah. You know. So, what else is up? So yeah, it looks like I don't know what's going on here in the chat, but it looks like Jamie and Stinger are starting a band. Yeah, called Stinger's Crying. That'll be interesting. Like, who's gonna do what in the band though? Like, who's gonna play guitar? Who's gonna sing? Maybe you guys will do both. You know. Maybe Jamie wants to play the drums. I don't know. Fletcher Floyd, Steve Clark, as if, I mean, hey, no disrespect because I love me some Def Leppard, but I mean, did Steve's hair ever look this good? I mean, seriously, you know, I don't just wake up and roll out of bed looking like this, guys. I mean, this takes a little bit of work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And did you guys see that video of Jack Black doing Mr. Crowley? Did you see that? He wasn't at the concert. Like, it wasn't a live performance. It was like a pre-recorded video, and they showed it on the screen at the show, and it's Jack Black doing Mr. Crowley with a bunch of kids. Yeah, I think it was like the guitar player was like the son of Tom Selleck or something like that. And yeah, I don't know. But anyway, the point is, Jack Black sounded really good on Mr. Crowley. It was surprising. You know, I thought he was going to come out and just like sound horrible. But hey, I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, I'm not saying he sang it better than I can, obviously, you know. But it was, you know, it was acceptable. We got Timothy Baby Boy Mulligan. Baby Boy. Timothy, does your mommy know you're on the internet right now? Aren't you a little young to be watching this adult program here? You know, what if I say something that's, you know, not family friendly? Not saying that I will, but, you know, we got to be good, guys. We've got kids in the audience. Everybody's welcome. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, everybody wants to watch RIXX. You know, all ages, all races, all genders, everything. And you know, it's like, duh. I can accept that. Yeah. What else is going on, dudes? Anybody been down to the bowling alley lately? I don't know if I've seen any of you guys down there. It's a pretty cool hangout spot. Yeah. I don't usually like do any bowling because that costs money. But I like to like kind of like cruise the bowling alley, just like walk back and forth and looking for like, you know, some ladies, if you know what I mean. Still waiting for one of them to respond one of these days, you know, but I figure it's like, it's a numbers game. You know, if you do it enough, like walk back and forth and just like, hey, what's up? Eventually, somebody's going to be like, hey, yeah, you know, I mean, they're always trying to ignore me, but I think it's just like a psychological thing. Like, oh, I'll pretend like I'm not into him. I'll pretend like I don't like him, and then he's going to like me more. But little do they know that doesn't work on me. I'm just like, okay, you're not interested. I'm on to the next one then. I'm on to the next one. Oh no. Captain Craig had an awful bowling accident. Well, dude, you should have gone down to the end of the gutter and looked for them. I bet they were there. Somebody else found them. You know, Marlon, the mall and the food court, it's like, you know, I did that for a while. Like a couple of years, like every day. And then there was like somebody filed like a report and they thought I was like some kind of weirdo or something. And then basically security said, we don't ever want to see you here again. And I was like, okay, oh, okay, I see how it is. The security guards want to get the action. They want all that action. And they were jealous. They were afraid that like all the ladies would flock to me and there'd be nothing left for them, right? Nothing but like the scraps and the leftovers. Okay, understandable, cool. You know, you don't have to tell me about like somebody filed a report. You don't have to make up a story. Just be honest and tell me. And then like, okay, I won't hang out at the mall anymore. You know, good luck with the ladies, but you know, whatever. Anyway. Randy Rhoads is your spirit animal. Okay, that's cool. So apparently the bald shredder liked the gold SBHE. I mean, if you say so, I don't know. He didn't tell me about it. But gold's a cool color. Gold like matches my golden locks. You know what I mean? Golden locks, gold guitar. You know, that dude should send me the gold guitar because it matches my golden locks. I mean, can you imagine? Yeah. What's his name? I told Tours 10. What kind of name is Tours 10? Anyway, yeah. Hey, Tours 10, send me that gold guitar. You know, I'd be happy to like do some shredding on. You'd probably sell like 500 of them in the first 5 minutes of me putting up a video. Anyway. All right. Okay, so like it looks like I'm getting some requests to do some more shredding. Okay, cool. You know, I got to give the people what they want. Sure. I can do some more shredding for you guys. No problem. You know, Bald Shredder, he plays once and then he doesn't even play again because like I think he's like afraid of making a mistake or something. But anyway, not me. Not when you're RIXX and you don't make mistakes. Let's see here. Got some volume. All right, you guys sitting down, right? Maybe you want to take some notes, but I don't know if you can take notes fast enough because, yeah, just be prepared to be blown away. That's it. Okay, here we go. All right, dudes. Somebody was calling the bald guy's phone, and like I was gonna answer it, but then like they hung up before I could have a chance to answer it. I don't know who that is. Anyway, so like, what you guys think about the shredding? I mean, it was just like mind blowing, right? How many of you guys were like, okay, at this point, I'm just gonna quit guitar. I'm just gonna take all my guitars and like throw them in the trash, right? Ryan, I'm plugged into Bald Shredder's usual system, which I think is line 6 in the computer. Yeah, you know, what do you call that? A plug-in or something? I don't know. I'm plugged in. That's all I know. Yeah. So I'm reading the comments here. See? Sean plays guitar. He says, shredding is rad, bruh. Yeah, obviously. Right? Thanks, Captain Obvious. But hey, I love it. I love the compliments, you know? But you know, I don't have an ego. Like I can take it and then like be nice about it and like not be like a jerk about it. So, you know, the more the merrier, to be honest, guys. My shredding is unparalleled. Exactly. What does unparalleled mean? You know, when I tried to get my driver's license, like, I didn't pass the test because I couldn't do the parallel parking. I mean, who even needs to do that? And why do they even call it that? Parallel? It's just like, dude, back into that parking space and park right there. And I was like, dude, why do I have to back in? Let me just go in the front way. It'll be way easier, right? And I did that. And the car was like kind of still sticking out, but I was like, it's good enough, dude. People will go around me. Anyway, yeah, what does that even mean? Parallel parking, whatever, dudes, whatever. Hair's getting a little messy here. I think it's a time for like another squirt of like the hairspray or something. I don't know. Computer to surround sound. All I know is you guys were surrounded by my sound, right? You were surrounded by it. And that reminds me of the time like I was hanging out at the bus stop and I got surrounded by cops. It's like, dudes, I just offered to give her a ride on my 10-speed instead of having to wait for the bus. What's the big deal? And then she got all like weird about it. I was like, okay, fine. I'll never ask you to sit on my handlebars again. Whatever. You know? Jeez. People get so pushed out of shape so easily. You know? It's like, you try to do somebody a favor and that's the thanks you get? Whatever. Jamie had to parallel park for her CDL test. California driver's license? Is that what a CDL is? Because that's what I was trying to get. But I wasn't driving no 18-wheeler, whatever that is. I think I was driving like a 3-wheeler. Or maybe it was 2 or 4. I can't remember. I had to, well, I was going to say borrow, but like, my next door neighbor didn't know that I borrowed the car, right? He would have said yes if I would have asked him, so I don't see what the big deal was. And then like he reports it stolen. Can you imagine? Yeah. And then I get like pulled over on my way home from the driver's test, which I failed because of the stupid parallel parking. And the cops are like, "You're driving a stolen car." And I was like, "I didn't steal it. I borrowed it from my neighbor. And they're like, did you ask him? I'm like, I don't need to ask him. It's that kind of thing is like, it's understood. Let me just tell you guys, having your face crammed into like the trunk of the car and your hands behind your back, you know, it's just not good for the hair. It messes up the hair a little bit. It's like, what are you guys doing anyway? Man, there's so many jealous people out there. Cool. Ryan's building a Glary Super Strat. Black Tiger. I didn't even know they had one with a black tiger on it. They do? Black Tiger? What's that? Timothy Richards says he's out. Okay. Later, Timothy. Thanks for being here, dude. Yeah, I really appreciate it. It's cool. Steve Gunner, bring the bald guy back. Are you kidding me? Why would you want like a Pinto, a Ford Pinto, when you can have a Ferrari, right? It's like, why would anybody choose the Pinto when you have the option of having the Ferrari? Clearly, I'm the Ferrari, you know, in case it's like it's not obvious. But anyway, I'm only doing it for this week, guys, because I don't have time to be doing this every Wednesday. Right? I don't have time, you know. I'm gonna be like hanging out at the bowling alley and like down by the bus stop and stuff. So, yeah. Bring Lester back. How am I supposed to bring Lester back? I heard Lester just like went full on over to TalkTick. He's over on TalkTick now. Yeah. Apparently, he's like the top guitar shredder on TalkTick. So, you know, hey, good for him. That's all I can say. But he better hope that I never go on TalkTick because, like, I will be dethroning him within, like, the first 5 minutes, obviously. But I'll let him have that for a while. Pintos were awesome. Dime bag coins. What the heck is a dime bag coin? I heard of dime bags before. And I know what a coin is, but like, is there a dime bag coin? Anyway, Pintos were awesome. Yeah, my favorite Pintos are in the form of a bean. Pinto beans, like, you know, in a Mexican food. Yeah. I enjoy some good Mexican food, you know, when I'm, you know, pick up like a single mom and she's willing to like make it for me or buy me some. Which is, you know, once in a while, not that often. Bill Blake wants to know, how often do I practice and for how many hours? Bill, I'm pretty much at the point where I don't need to practice. Okay? It's like when you're this good, it's not really hard to maintain. You know? I mean, I don't mean to brag. Okay, but I guess I am, but whatever. Yeah, it's like practicing isn't really even necessary. So I just kind of play like whenever I feel like it. Yeah, like whenever I'm at somebody's house and they have a guitar that I can play, because I had to sell mine at the pawn shop a couple months ago. Yeah, I'll probably get it back though. Okay, so Dimebag says coins come in bags. Try not to overthink it. You know, the problem with that advice, Dimebag, is that when you're as smart as me, everything is overthought. My mind is constantly like on 30 different topics at once. You know, I'll think a few seconds for this and a few seconds for that. And I can't even like finish an idea or finish a thought because there's so many things going on. It's hard to focus on one thing. I mean, I think that's when you're this smart, that's what happens, you know? And if I could focus in on one thing, like, oh, I should probably come up with a cure for cancer. That would be a good thing. Let me think about that. Oh, but then a second later, I'm like, you know, how would I end the war over in Ukraine? I bet I could come up with a way to like end that satisfactorily for everybody. But then I'm on to the next thing, you know. Oh, let's come up with clean, endless energy that's like not a danger to the world. And then I should do that. But, you know, it's just like sometimes I wish I wasn't so smart. You know, it's just like, whatever. It's just, you know, it's another thing I have to live with. Anyway. What else is up, dudes? What else? Yeah. Gear Hoarders got band practice Saturday. Dude, you guys need anybody in the band? I mean, not that I would want to join your band, but, you know, because I would probably like, I would take the spotlight, you know, if you guys are willing to accept that. Yeah, I don't have to sit and think about guitars too much because it's like I've already thought enough about guitars and I've got my full potential. And when you're already at the top, it's like you can't be any better. So anyway, yeah. Whatever. Anybody watching that show on Netflix called The Sandman? Anybody watch that? I was watching that recently. They just like came out with the second season, I guess it was. The Sandman. Anybody watching that? Like the skinny dude with the black hair, kind of spiky hair. I was kind of confused though. I was like, I kept waiting for somebody to call him the Sandman. And nobody ever calls him the Sandman. And I'm like, I thought the show was going to be like a bunch of babes running around the beach in bikinis. You know, the Sandman. Like, where's all the sand? It didn't even make any sense. It was just like all this weird stuff going on. I don't know. Anyway, I don't really recommend it because the title is like totally misleading. Ryan, loaded pick guard. Loaded. I'm a fan of the loaded, if you know what I mean. Gear Hoarder got a Leo Jaymz single cut. Yeah, I might have to get one of those one day, you know. Like, if he wants to give me one, you know, I guess that would be cool. But if not, you know, whatever. Logan's Run, right. Yeah, Logan's Run. I think I saw that movie once. And it was like, dude, why are you running? You know, just stop. Just stop. Just like, you don't need to run. Aren't you tired of running? Like Logan's Run? Which, anyway, shouldn't the movie be called Logan's Running instead of Logan's Run? And he really didn't do like a whole lot of running in the movie. I mean, there was some, but it was like, should have been called like Logan doesn't want to die and he's trying to get away. That should have been the title of the movie. There was a wrestler named Sandman. Yeah, I didn't know that. Is it real snakeskin? Well, I mean, the guy that I bought it from, he said it is. You know, it's pretty smooth feeling, but I mean, considering the amount of money that I paid for this shirt, and that's why he said it was expensive, because it's like a real snake skin, like from a giant sized boa constrictor. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's real snake skin. See? Even the baby's a genius. He must be like Boss Baby. Remember that movie? Yeah, Timothy. Are you Boss Baby? Are you from the movie Boss Baby? And that's why you're in here watching this? Because you're more like an adult? And he says he's a genius. He could be Boss Baby. That could be him. And Boss Baby is going to tease guitars. Part 2. I didn't even know there was a part 1. Well, that's cool. All right, dudes. Well, hey, that's all the time that I'm going to give you guys. And I hope you feel privileged. Hope you feel privileged because, like, I gave up an hour of my time for you dudes. And there was only like one $5 donation. That's a little insulting, you know. Ubi, the Uber driver guy, thanks to him, you know. But the rest of you, hey, that's cool. You know, I understand, you know, nobody wants to like donate to the RIXXter because it's a lot of jealousy, you know. It's a lot of jealousy, but like I said, I'm used to it. I've been living my whole life with it, you know. So, but anyway, whatever, dudes. All right, so I'm gonna do that. I guess he does that like countdown thing or something. So I should like count down from where does he start? Okay. Counting down, dudes. I mean, like, you don't really need me to do that, but whatever. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 1. Come on, bro. I can't even get the cursor working here.